Students, let us study on-screen copy editing in today's class. So the topic is on-screen copy editing. See, like the term copy editing, the definition of an on-screen editing, it is very difficult to know, it's very difficult to pin down. Maximizing the use of many features that are on offer, the system can greatly improve our efficiency, reducing the time spent on repetitive tasks such as imposing consistencies. So by using tools such as macros and find and replace, we can improve our accuracy and speed. That is, we can get more done in less time. So that is on-screen editing or on-screen copy editing. So if we see the basic part of copy editing is, so please listen, the basic part of copy editing is removing typographical errors and inconsistencies. So identifying the different elements for the typesetter and imposing house style. All these can be tedious. So one aim of on-screen editing is to get the computer to do all these jobs, right? So any task that is done repeatedly by hand can probably be done by the software in a fraction of time. So this leaves us free to concentrate on the more interesting and challenging tasks such as making editorial decisions to ensure that the structure and argument are relevant and coherent. So the world is divided into two groups. Those who write and read on paper, and the second group is those who type and read on screen. So this is the basic difference. So one section of people, they write and they read what they have written. And if you see the second section, another group of people, they never write. Instead, they directly type into the computer and they read on screen. Because the second one saves time. This is the main purpose. So that is on-screen editing, on-screen writing and also editing. So it is very easy for us to edit if something is already typed. So on-screen copy editing. Why on-screen editing? This is a question. Why do we prefer this on-screen editing? Why not it can be done manually? So why on-screen editing? Software greatly facilitates. There are many softwares, as I said, find and replace, macro. So if you are used with this, if you are good in this MS Word 2007, you know the facilities or the benefits that we get when we type. So the software, all these software greatly facilitates and improves most traditional editorial tasks. The second point, it increases both the speed and the quality of editing. Moreover, most manuscripts are now created on the computer. So printing them out just can be both inefficient and ecological. Okay, so why on-screen editing? Because it greatly facilitates and improves most traditional editorial tasks, increases both speed and quality of editing, and most manuscripts are now created on the computer. The second is, the first point is to prefer this online on-screen editing to minimize errors. So minimize errors. When you type, you can find if you commit any spelling mistake, that will be in red. So you know that there is a error. To minimize errors. And second, reduce correction time. So with on-screen editing, all corrections are already present in the manuscript. And this eliminates the time required to transfer them from paper to computer. Because this also eliminates transcription errors there is no need to fix this category of error in a subsequent review stage. There is also a small but important benefit in terms of clarity. So typed edits are easier to read and understand than handwritten ones and less likely to be misinterpreted. So this is the reason, because typed copies are easier to read and understand than the handwritten ones. And also another point is it is less likely to be misinterpreted because it is already typed. And edit faster and more consistently. So consistency is very important. It edit faster. On paper editing relies on slow, inefficient handwritten comments. So this is on paper editing. Manual editing relies on slow, inefficient handwritten comments. But on-screen editing solves all these problems in several ways. And if you see, there are disadvantages too, because computers are super workhouses, but they cannot judge quality, right? Computers cannot judge quality of a manuscript or of an article. Computers cannot judge the quality, and also computers cannot spot libel. So they cannot spot libel, the computers cannot tactfully negotiate a problem with an author. So if the writer or if the copy editing house, if they have publishing house, if they have any doubt or if they have any problem with the author, they can directly contact the author and they can negotiate. But a computer cannot do all these jobs. So these are the minor disadvantages. Otherwise, copy editing is always excellent. On-screen editing is always preferable. So let me repeat the benefits again. On-screen editing benefits. So as I said, it increases and diversifies editors' skills, and also it assists inexperienced writers. So it also spots problems in online versions of documents. For example, those to be published on a website. So that would not be apparent on paper. That is not possible on paper. And there are tools like spell checker. See, just remember do not use the spell checker as your only means of editing. Instead, you make it the last thing you use to just to do once over of the piece of writing, so you can find any problems you may have missed. And there is this grammar checker. In MS Word, there is also the grammar checker, which can be a useful tool, but it is just as limited as the spell checker. It will help you find some sentence fragments, misused words, and even problems with commas, as well as any jargon or passive voice. And again, let me tell you, do not rely on this program, but instead use it as a once over at the end to determine if you missed anything. And also, it does not always choose the best options for the writing. Okay. And there is this another tool called editing out extra spaces. So something that can be very hard to see when you are copy editing, when your copy editing is extra spaces. So extra spaces are difficult to spot, but they need to be fixed. And when you, fortunately, when you edit electronically, it can be very easy to remove extra spaces from the document. So that is also a great boon. And the next is comment option. So another great feature that Word provides, MS Word provides, is the ability to put comments into the Word document. So when you put in a comment, a dotted line goes from the area where you inserted the comment to the comment box on the side of the document. So this way, it allows you to ask questions about something in the document. So you can insert copy editing symbols or note something that you want to draw to the author's attention. So this provides actually a great way to put information that you want the writer to see into the document, without cluttering up the document itself. And one of the most important tools you have at your disposal in editing electronically is tracking changes. MS tracking changes. So tracking changes in Word allows you to input edits so that these edits are highlighted along with the original or unedited text. So the writer can now see what has changed in the document. And actually this gives the writer more power to know what has been edited and why. If there is in future, if there is any disagreement or a concern, tracking changes enables a more focused and accurate discussion about the specific changes. And there is this how to edit an opinion piece. That is also a very important tool. So once you have edited, after you have gone through and edited the opinion piece of the fiction, you have to give it to the writer to ensure that the original tone is still there. So always explain the edits you put in, because you may be keeping the subjective elements. So but the writer may not see it that way. So by showing them what you did and why you did it, that can see that the tone and subjective elements always remain same. So meet you in next class. Thank you.